Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
So I'm feeling a little paranoid about your gong.
Well, I have a good reason for it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So I'm all congested.
Yes.
And snotty and sniffly and coughy.
I think we can all hear how congested you are.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I sound terrible.
You sound subhuman.
Oh, it's so bad. So, if we were a professional radio station, we would have a cough button.
We would.
We're not a professional radio station.
No.
So, when I need to step away to blow my nose or cough...
That's brilliant. I love that.
I'm gonna gong it in.
Yeah, it's so...
That's just a test gong. I don't need to use it right now.
Okay, I understand.
Just testing.
I think we all get the concept. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you know what that means now.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. You just have the one gong, right? There's no multiple gong scenario?
I only brought one gong.
Okay.
So if that goes off at any point in time, there's going to be some sort of fluid coming out of an orifice in my head.
Okay.
Any of my head orifices.
Good to know.
Orify?
You know
Orify.
what? I like that. And I like that we're in a single gong scenario.
Single gong.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a poly gong scenario or a multi gong scenario. I just think that eventually everyone will feel frustrated. No one will leave feeling satisfied.
Well, you can't just keep going with a podcast when you're in a multi-gong scenario.
Exactly.
Like one gong, maximum gongs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just a test still. I still don't need it. I don't need it yet.
I could build you a cough button, by the way.
You could build me a cough button?
Yeah, I could totally do that.
Well, you didn't do it yet, so now we have a gong.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just build me a large gong to sit next to my seat. I'll hammer it.
Wham.
Mallet.
Yeah.
Mallet.
We could pay someone, like a silent third, to just hit the gong.
How much are we paying them? Is it just a share of what we're making off the podcast?
Is a hay penny a thing?
I've heard of it.
We could pay them in hay pennies, or maybe in centimos.
You could
do
that trick that people always pulled in elementary school.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll pay you 100 doll hairs. And then, of course, they don't want doll hair.
No one. These are the kind of people I wonder about today. Like, what are the doll hair people doing?
I imagine the same thing.
Yeah, they're walking around. You think they've been wearing that joke out for 25 years?
Oh, yeah. Or there were people, I don't know if this was just where I grew up, who would say, I'll give you $5 for it, and then punch you in the arm 5 times. That's just abuse. That's not...
hazing.
Yeah.
Hazing.
So, those people are probably in penitentiary.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, hello. Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, it has.
We don't make apologies here, but...
well, I had crap to do.
You did. You were gone.
So, just get out of here.
Get out of here.
Buzz off.
Yeah.
Take a hike.
That's right. You were at the Grande Canyon.
I'm sorry, what?
The Grande Canyon? I'm learning Spanish.
No habla español.
I feel a little disconnect here. You were at the Grand Canyon.
Oh, the Grand Canyon. Yeah, no, that's where I was at.
You were at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
You were, you could have, I would have loved it if you had done a podcast from the Grand Canyon.
I wasn't going to do that.
It sounds a little bit like we're in the Grand Canyon right now. It's actually just my kitchen that's very reflective.
Well, that's the downside.
What was that there?
To trying to do a podcast in a room with a vaulted ceiling.
This is true. We are in a vaulted ceiling space here.
That is also why my gong echoes so loudly every time I ring it.
Almost like we planned it that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know what the thing about a vaulted ceiling is? There's light bulbs way up there.
Yeah.
necessitates the purchasing of like a 12-foot ladder to have this ceiling.
Right.
But I'm glad it's there.
You know what else you could do instead of changing those light bulbs?
What's that?
Just burn the whole thing down.
Yeah, we could
Burn
start
the house
over.
down every single time a light bulb burns out.
Yeah. Hey,
Get new light bulbs.
life is a vicious cycle, man. Anyway, so I wonder how long it would take the insurance company to figure that one out.
If you burnt your house down multiple times on like a biannual basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm using compact fluorescence, so
Oh, so it may be a while.
it may be a couple of years. Yeah.
I don't know. They advertise those things last, what is it, 30 centuries?
I'll have to,
Something
that
like
sounds
that.
about right. That's
Yeah.
accurate. Yeah. I'll start saving now. And then by the time I'm 300,
Exactly.
it'll be time to burn the house down.
I when we went to go buy light bulbs last time, was looking at the light bulbs, and they all have like 20-year, 15-year, like they're going
yeah.
to last that long.
Yeah.
Call me a skeptic if you will.
I'll happily call you a skeptic.
But I think the only way a light bulb is lasting 20 years, compact fluorescent or not,
yeah, LED.
is if you don't ever turn it on.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah.
If you turn that thing on, no.
Or if you're one of these people that has a bulb you leave on all the time,
Right.
it's going to burn out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what scenario, like, what are the situations where it's lasting 20 years?
Maybe.
Someone flips on a light once every month, just for a second?
Yeah, just because. Like an attic light
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, like how often do you turn your attic light on?
Well, more often than I'd like.
Really?
Well, because the people who worked on our house,
May they be forever damned.
I'm trying to think of the polite way to describe them.
You don't have to.
No, I want to be polite.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gigantic turd buckets.
Oh.
That's the polite way. They wired the attic light into our hallway light.
Oh, so it's on a lot.
Well, I mean, we don't go into that hallway all that often.
Okay.
So,
It's a deserted hallway.
yeah. But, I mean, every time we're in the hallway, flip on the light,
Boom. There it goes.
attic light.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's terrible.
We should also explain your bacterial level. Oh, we already did. They know you're
Yeah.
sick. Oh.
Where have you been?
I don't know.
That's what
the
this
gong
whole thing is for.
Oh, right. I forgot. It's early and I'm already forgetting things. What's
know.
going on?
Well, I see that you have a bottle of Stella over there.
I do.
So if you want, you can go ahead and blame that.
Well, I've just started it, and this is the only one I've had today. I mean, I pounded like 6 shots of vodka before you got here,
Right.
but
Right.
Otherwise,
I noticed you have a glass of clear liquid in front of you.
yeah.
I assumed it was water.
No,
Foolish me.
no, it'll light on fire. I tried that too before you got here.
Yeah.
I am really obsessed now. So as you know, we had a party recently.
Yeah.
My wife turned
came
30.
by.
You were here. And I made a cocktail at the party that necessitated lighting things on fire, namely an orange peel. And I thought that was a good opportunity to buy a Zippo. Now everyone in my life has to deal with the sound all the time. We've flown in plenty of sound effects in the past, but
Yeah.
this is a very sound effect heavy show.
Yeah, we're
These
not
are
going to
all-
have to fly anything
No,
in
it's
either.
great. I love it. This is way better for
Yeah.
me. I mean, post is going to be super simple.
Well, you don't know what I have planned for later.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of editing.
I feel like you're alluding to some kind of mystery that is not really going to come to fruition. Am I right about that? You've been known to not pay off mystery before.
Are you accusing me of misleading you and the listeners?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It wouldn't be the first
seems
time.
fair.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back in the swing.
In the swing?
The swing.
Is this
Yeah, guys,
this is the swing?
you haven't noticed the motion?
No.
We're always moving.
This is the swing right
We're
here.
swinging. We're swinging. You don't feel that?
I do not.
No?
No.
This entire house sits on a pendulum. Pendulum.
Yeah.
Thank you. And yeah, whenever we podcast, I turn it on so it swings just a little.
Well, that's a terrible idea.
I know, but
it's a waste of energy.
So comforted, though. It makes me so comfortable.
Big waste of energy.
So this was kind of an odd thing that I did this week. I watched like this documentary about horror movies, like American horror movies, which is strange because I don't really watch horror movies. You know what I mean? I don't know what attracted me to it, but there I was. On your Netflix feed, no less.
Right.
So I caught a quick scene of, I guess, Vincent Price made all these Edgar Allan Poe movies, right? Yeah. And I caught a scene of the pit and the pendulum. Pendulum. I can't say that word. And, wow, it was way freakier than I imagined it.
Right.
Like Vincent Price is like in this like black robes thing, and he's in this giant pit, and he's got this dude strapped down to the table, and the thing is, it's like way creepier and way like deviant looking than I would imagine a movie from the 60s could be. You know what I mean?
Vincent Price was a crazy guy.
He's a crazy guy.
Yeah, he was a crazy guy.
Do you know stuff about him? Like,
I mean, I've seen pieces of what he did.
Yeah.
And you have to be a crazy guy to do that.
As weird as it sounds, I guess I'm mostly familiar with him through like audio sources. I think he must have narrated some books or something that I had.
Yeah, that seems right.
Or something. Or maybe he got parodied on cartoons so much that
also seems right.
I became aware of the caricature of Vincent Price. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
He was crazy.
Yeah. That pit and the pendulum scene was pretty weird. Yeah. I mean, I've read that story. Like, I know what happens. But, like, just seeing him in that garb was super weird.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Nowadays, in the days of Saw and all of those horror movies,
right?
Could anyone do an Edgar Allan Poe movie?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Successfully,
I think you could modernize it. Sure. I mean, I think
where people will go see it, not just do it because there will be people who see it, but. Yeah. Do it where it's a blockbuster hit.
Here's my question. Do you have to say it's an Edgar? Do you have to put like Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of the Red Death at the top? Right. I think that would actually help. Like if you didn't say it was an Edgar Allan Poe story.
Yeah, but
at the top,
people want to see someone get dismembered.
Yeah, you can do that. You could do that. I mean, you could take it as like. You could take the story and like expand on it. I mean, some of that stuff is pretty gruesome. You know what I mean? A lot of it is swerving around the actual gruesomeness, but there's gruesomeness to be had. I guess is what I'm saying. But
see, then it wouldn't be as good because part of the appeal of it is the mystery of everything.
So you're saying not show?
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it wouldn't work is because these days you'd have to show
it. Yeah.
Right. That's interesting. They had some good theories in this. I think it was called American Horror in Red, White, and Blue or something like that. I don't remember. American Nightmare.
It sounds made up.
Something like that. Yeah. Anyway.
It doesn't sound real.
But it was cool. They start like all the way back at the beginning of film, and like even Edison, who invented motion picture, tried to make like a horror movie. It's really interesting. It looks terrible.
Well,
we're talking like a 0-star review here. But first time out. And then they kind of go through, they get to the universal monsters and they talk about like cultural themes. So like, pretty much everything in the early days was all this like leftovers from European ancestry stuff,
right.
Dracula and Frankenstein, all that stuff goes back to castles and that time period and all that. And, during the war, they started to sort of camp things up a little bit more, and then later in the 50s, it was like all about this idea of this culture, like George Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
Where it's like, everyone in the culture is a zombie except for these few people who kind of step outside of those boundaries.
Right.
It's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot there. I thought it was great.
Did they get all the way to the modern?
They did.
Garbage.
They did, and
Garbage.
They explained that. Here's how they explained that. They explained it by saying that the world has become so much more graphic.
Yeah.
Like think of
I understand
like post
why.
September 11th. Yeah.
Everyone's desensitized to things, so
Yeah.
to get the effect, it has to be more and more extreme.
Right.
The catch-22 being the more and more extreme it gets, the more desensitized people get. So then you have to keep amping it up.
It's just this cycle,
and eventually it's
right.
just going to be, they murder someone right in the movie theater in front of someone.
Yeah,
that's the only way they'll do it.
That's interesting. They did talk about a movie. I think this was 50s or 60s, and they were experimenting with things like, having the chairs vibrate and stuff like this. So there were a few movies made where like that would happen. And there was one movie, I don't remember the name of it, but it was maybe The Shocker or something like that. I don't remember. That sounds not right. There's another thing called that we're not going to talk about. But anyway, I think that oh geez, I just totally blanked out. Oh, there was one movie where they would literally like kill the lights in the middle of the movie,
right?
And someone would run in as whoever this villain was. Pretty. I mean, that would freak me out.
See, that might work still.
That might work.
Yeah,
no one's done anything like that for a while.
I don't appreciate horror movies in general.
Yeah,
the only ones I've ever liked are more suspense than
right
horror.
Right.
Like the good Hitchcock movies,
totally
things like that.
Yeah,
it's just all bleh.
It's
bleh.
You have to. It's one of those things you either dig it or you don't. I think.
Well, and at this point, it's almost a parody of itself,
right?
Anyway,
right.
So
there's definitely some truth. I like the more supernaturally stuff sometimes. You know what I mean? And I like the lighter end of stuff. You know what I mean?
See, I have an issue with the supernaturally stuff because I'm too much of a skeptic and realist. So you have to appreciate, you have to be able to just ignore reality for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Suspend your belief.
And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm going, nah, there's no way there's a ghost in that house because ghosts don't exist.
Right.
So
not a real thing. Yeah. I mean, you do the same. Do you feel the same way about sci-fi? You have to suspend.
I don't watch a lot of sci-fi.
You don't? Okay.
Nah.
See, I do. That's probably like my go-to genre of anything.
I don't read a lot of sci-fi either.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Not much.
I like sci-fi, but it has to be the sci-fi that is in the realm of reality.
Right. We've talked about this a little bit before, where it's something that could happen.
Right. I like the sci-fi that is like a dystopian future,
right?
And it's 100 years from now,
sure.
And you're looking at it going, yeah, that's possible.
Something like 1984 or Fahrenheit 451 or something. Yeah. That kind of
anything that shows a dystopian future, you can just look at Detroit now.
Yeah,
and go, well,
start to see.
It happened.
Yeah, it's true.
That was right.
Yeah, that came to pass. Yeah. So. My favorite of those, now I haven't read 1984, and I like Fahrenheit, but I like Brave New World a lot. Mm-hmm. Have you read Brave New World?
No, I have not.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. But yeah, I like, I mean, I guess maybe I like action and adventure even more than I like sci-fi sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of the sci-fi stuff is really just that in a different wrapper.
Right.
I've realized,
it seems like a lot of sci-fi movies, if it's not space oriented,
right,
it's just people running from things a lot.
Yes, exactly.
Just a lot of running.
Right. And you could be running from, if you're running from something else, if you're running from Jaws,
right,
not the shark. Well, the shark works too. I was thinking of the man in the James Bond movie.
Okay.
But yeah, either way, if you're running from an entity, Jaws, you just make it like you're running from aliens, and then you're in that category.
What percentage of movies
do
you think, Like, what percentage of all of the scenes of all of the movies
Okay.
are just people running?
Oh, wow. That's a great question.
I bet it's a pretty high percentage.
Like, pick a movie. Like, let's pick a movie and try to figure it out.
Okay.
Like, what's a movie we've both seen?
Okay. Here's an example I have. Twister.
Great example. Okay.
First off, not realistic. You don't outrun tornadoes.
No, they
Doesn't
consume
happen.
you. Right. They consume you. If you do the tornado watching thing, you're like really far away.
Well, and you stand behind it, not like if it's going this way, you stay back. You don't go in front and go,
Right.
oh, the tornado's moving towards us.
Right.
Well, we better set this thing up real quick.
Right. So they're always behind.
Yeah.
They go the opposite. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, maybe there are some that don't, but they're idiots.
quick aside.
Yeah.
You being from Kansas.
Yeah.
Have you ever known any tornado chasers? Because, I mean, Kansas is a hot spot
No.
for tornadoes.
No.
No?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay.
Well, I was a kid in Kansas.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I'm not hanging out with strange men in vans with a bunch of equipment.
Huh. Well,
that's weird.
That's where you and I differ.
That's how you meet sketchy characters.
Well, anyway, when I saw Twister, by the way,
Yeah.
and then we'll go back to this percentages thing, I so wanted to do that. It romanticized it so much for me.
Oh,
that
it looks
whole
so
thing.
miserable.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it looks so like intense and kind of cool and like badass, you know?
Do you remember at the exact same time as Twister, a movie called Tornado came out?
I kind of remember that. Yeah.
It was like a race to who can get the tornado movie out the quickest.
Quickest, yeah.
Twister won,
Yeah.
and it was also better.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then I remember this a little bit later on. Remember Dante's Peak?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, there was also a movie that came out at the exact same time called Volcano.
Yes.
It's like there was someone just going, they beat me every time.
I was
No."
gonna bring that up. I know, like that was an era of disaster movies.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Deep Impact and what's that movie? Armageddon Day.
Yeah.
Armageddon. I was thinking of Independence Day. Yeah, that was a big era. Early 2000s was like a big era for disaster movies for sure.
Oh yeah.
I like Dante's Peak.
I don't remember. All I remember about it
Yeah.
is, and this says a lot about me,
Okay.
they are in a boat,
Right.
but they can't get into the water because the water is acid.
Right.
Now, me being me, 10-year-old Nathan, watching this.
Right.
What kind of acid is this that the boat's not affected, but the
Right.
people would burn to death?
Exactly.
Immediately.
Right. Exactly.
The
Exactly.
boat just floats along. It's fine.
It's doing all right. Yeah.
No big deal.
Nope.
But a human touches that, they're dead.
It's just like the game we used to play as a kid. Like, you're in the lava. You're in the lava. Oh, I really am in the lava.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember the scene. I remember a lot of Jeeps. And isn't Pierce Brosnan in that movie?
Oh, yeah.
And then I remember like lava spouting out of the road sort of at random.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I remember about that movie.
That's actually, because I didn't ever watch the James Bond movies growing up. That's what I knew Pierce Brosnan from.
Oh, there you go.
Not his finest work.
Oh, I don't know what his finest work was.
Well, not that.
Is
It can't possibly be that.
Dante's Peak? No, I mean those James Bond movies are not the best James Bond movies either.
Well,
GoldenEye's pretty good, but the others are like.
You should tell him.
I will. I'll shoot him a little message.
Hunt him down.
Yeah.
Let him know.
He's Irish. Did you know that?
No. I haven't been keeping up on my Pierce Brosnan
true,
news.
yeah.
I know nothing about the man.
So this is kind of interesting. So going back to the Pierce Brosnan James Bond for a second, sometimes the accent sneaks through. Number one, number two, he was playing. What's the other show? He was on a TV show that was sort of in
Remington Steele.
Remington Steele. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and he was supposed to play James Bond before Timothy Dalton played James Bond.
Okay.
But at the last second, they would not let him out of his Remington Steele contract. So he couldn't do it. And so
Best thing that ever happened to Timothy Dalton.
Definitely.
Best thing ever.
Definitely. Who was Welch, actually?
Yeah, I'm sure he
Welsh.
sat down on his couch every whatever day Remington Steele came on.
Right. It was like,
And just turned it on and just laughed.
Yeah.
Just laughed hysterically for the hour that it was on TV.
people hate the Dalton movies, but I actually like both of them pretty decently.
I haven't seen them.
Yeah, I mean, The Living Daylights is really campy, and then License to Kill is like fire and death and murder
Well, that's what
in
everyone
Mexico.
wants.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. Well, it was like post Die Hard at that point, so I think they were trying to do the Die Hard thing, but it still wasn't bad.
Right.
It still wasn't bad. I like that movie.
Why didn't they, if they wanted to do Die Hard, just cast Bruce Willis as 007?
You can't have a non-British 007.
Well, I mean, he can act British.
Are you sure about that? I've heard he's a real dick to work with.
I've heard negative things
Yeah.
about him, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. He never invites me to work on any of his movies.
Every
with him.
script that we send him just gets returned.
I have sent him so many scripts, mostly Airbud scripts.
Yeah. Airbud 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. Attack of the Clones.
He doesn't want to play the coach in Airbud.
Wait a minute.
He doesn't want to play the kid who has Airbud,
Right.
which, I mean, I thought that was right up his alley.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I even pitched him a script where he dresses up as Airbud.
What?
Yeah. No dice.
No dice?
No dice.
Yeah?
And it was going to be awesome. Airbud was going to go on a shooting spree.
Oh, I love it. I love
It was going to
it.
be
He was going to
great.
rappel down the side of a building.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
going to go after some terrorists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airbud 17, Attack of the Clones. Can you imagine an army of clone dogs in stormtrooper armor?
Well, that would be the most adorable army ever.
It really would.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd straight murder your face off, though, because you'd be like, oh.
They wouldn't even need to murder you.
They just subdue you
Yeah.
with their charm.
The entire army would just want to
guess
sit
that's
down and
true.
play with them.
Yeah. Oh. Come here, boy. Come here. Oh, it's a little Airbud with a gun.
Oh, your little rifle's so cute.
I did see a picture of Bruce Willis on the set of Pulp Fiction, and it must have been the scene right after he got out of the torture chamber, because his wife beater is or his white t-shirt or whatever is covered in blood, but he's posing for a picture with Quentin Tarantino and some other people. It's like, this is really a moment in time, isn't it? It's really strange. You didn't even change out of your shirt.
Nah.
Your blood shirt.
That's actually just his regular shirt.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in wardrobe that day.
Right.
He just showed up in the bloody shirt, and they went,
That's why he keeps getting hired. He always comes ready.
Yeah.
He's in costume every time he arrives.
Well, it helps that every role he plays involves a bloody shirt.
right.
He's got a lot
closet.
of those
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. He's so wealthy, too. He's got a bloody shirt closet.
He actually, I heard, he hires, there's a British designer that bloodies his clothing for him.
Really?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
He gets it
interesting.
pre-bloodied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't do that himself.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
he's a busy guy.
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have time to bloody his own shirts, would he?
He's got to die hard,
Yeah.
just over and over and over.
And with a vengeance.
and
Again?
yeah.
Is that one of them?
die harder, die hardest. All
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see the most recent one of those. Have you? No.
I think I've seen. I know I've seen the
three.
first one.
I've seen the three.
I don't think I've even seen the three.
They.
I didn't care.
The second one got a little out there, but I liked them all. I went on a Die Hard binge one day, and I think I watched all three of them.
Okay, well, here's the serious question. Because for whatever reason, these were always put against each other in my mind.
Yeah, okay.
Lethal Weapon or Die Hard?
That's a great question. I think Lethal Weapon is more fun, actually.
Oh, it's much more fun.
Yeah, I think, and you get
But
that.
it has no Bruce Willis.
Well, yeah, that's a given. Yeah,
I
and
mean-
it's completely insane Mel Gibson,
Well,
mostly insane Mel Gibson.
public insane.
There you go.
Mel Gibson.
He was
I'm sure he was still
privately
privately denying the Holocaust and whatnot.
Talking to Danny Glover, like, "Hey, mate, you know that didn't happen, right?" That's a terrible.
That is a
Australian.
spot on Mel Gibson. I think anyone listening, if they tuned in right then, first off, It's a podcast. You can
Yeah.
rewind to the beginning.
That's
You don't
right.
have to tune in
No,
the middle.
you can anytime.
But anyone tuning in right there would go, wow, Mel Gibson's on the pod. Oh,
that's amazing.
Oh, it's just Justin.
Right, mate.
Oh,
right.
man.
Vegemite sandwich and all. Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
It could also be Crocodile Dundee.
Hello. That's a Holocaust. Oh. Your gong sound reminds me of another film that I recently watched and greatly enjoyed. Oh, yeah, that's...
Demucusing.
Yeah, I know. We're aware. Have you seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Have you ever seen Little China in Big Trouble?
That's all the time. That's if you turn on China CNN.
Right.
That's what it's subtitled.
Little China and Big Trouble.
Always.
No, I have not.
Okay. It's a John Carpenter movie. And it is fucking ridiculous and awesome.
Okay.
It's like, okay, let me set this opening scene for you. Jack Burton is a truck driver. Budweiser Swillin. This is played by Kurt Russell, of course.
Wait, while he drives?
Yeah, he's a beer swillin'.
Oh, well, that's not safe.
He's talking into his CB, telling you all sorts of things about life.
He's drinking and
I think
talking into his...
I think he doesn't drink until he gets out of the truck. But when
You just said he's drinking and driving while he's talking on the CB radio.
I wouldn't put it past him. But that's not pictured in the film.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So he's talking into it, and he's like, and I've seen a thing or two in my time. He's this kind of guy, right?
He does not sound like a good role model.
No, he's not a good role model.
Okay.
So he gets caught. Jack has a friend in Chinatown. This is LA's Chinatown, I guess. And he ends up getting caught in the middle of a Chinese ninja gang war.
As does happen.
This does happen. It's like the dudes with the red bandana. I mean, the red... what do you call that thing when you tie it around your head? Bandana. The dudes with the red PJs and the dudes with the yellow PJs are really pissed off at each other, and they have been for like 800 years or something.
That's why I never wear my martial arts garb to Chinatown.
You have to have print pajamas because then you're in the clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh, that's leopard spot?
Right. Solid colored
Not
pajamas.
a gang.
Yeah.
Not a gang.
It's a roll of the dice, no matter what color you got on. They call them the rainbow gangs of Chinatown.
Right.
So he gets inadvertently caught up in the middle of this. And then their third element comes in, which is a mystical, I don't know. He's like a mystical Chinese wizard dude who is trying to get a green-eyed Chinese girl to marry and then sacrificially kill so that he will get a new body. He's immortal, but his body is all horrible and it doesn't have any skin. It's really gross. So if he kills this green-eyed Chinese girl, he gets a new body. So inadvertently, Jack has to stop this from happening. And there's like a dude with like Raiden powers, like lightning power shit. And it's pretty weird and out there, and I really liked it. It's great.
Does he get the girl's body?
Ooh, the wizard
where does
dude?
the body come from?
Well, she's alive.
No, I know.
He has to marry her before he kills her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, when she dies, how does he get a body?
I don't know. It's mystical stuff. Yeah.
Is it her body or is it a different body?
No, I think it just revitalizes his body. Like, he has a body, but is it horribly decrepit and like doesn't have any skin?
What happens if he just kills a person?
Nothing. It's got to be a green-eyed Chinese girl for whatever reason.
Are there a lot of green-eyed Chinese girls?
I don't think so. But interestingly,
I haven't looked deeply into the eyes of many Chinese girls.
Neither have I. I've never had the opportunity. So Kim Cattrall is in this movie as like a young person.
Well, now I'm out.
Why? You don't like her?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I like her in the early days because she was all right. She was in a lot of cool.
She was all right.
She was fine. What?
She was fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
Are you saying you thought Kim Cattrall was purty?
Yeah, sure. And yeah, absolutely. Actually,
she was purty.
Yeah, in that movie, and then she was in the Star Trek. She was purty in that too.
Which Star Trek?
One of them. She betrays.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I don't remember.
5, 6.
You know, it might have been 1 actually. She might be in the first Star Trek movie.
I didn't watch it.
I don't remember, but she's a a Vulcan who betrays
Right.
the crew.
I know. This is what I know about Star Trek movies.
Okay.
The first one's called Star Trek.
Right.
There's one where they search for Spock,
I think that's 3.
and then there's one where they come to Earth. That's the only one I've seen all the way
The
through.
Voyage Home,
Okay,
maybe?
sure.
I think that's the Voyage Home.
And all I remember about that one is Spock swam with whales at an aquarium.
That does happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens.
If I were Spock, that's
I think
the first thing
I
I'd
think
do.
that's 4. I think it's Star Trek and then The Wrath of Khan, which is by far the best one. And if you haven't seen The Wrath of
Do
Khan,
they
you should
swim
see
with
it.
any?
No. But you get the
Not really interested in.
Khan scream, which they redid, switching the roles in the latest Star Trek 2, the latest Star Trek 2, the J.J. Abrams thing.
What's it called?
I don't remember. Into Darkness. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Star Trek 2, Into Darkness.
What was the first one?
Star Trek, I
What?
think.
He just
Yeah, I know. He just started
Come on,
over.
JJ.
He started over. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was a little stretch for me when they did that in the new one. But in the original, it's great.
how much nerd cred does J.J. Abrams have
Oh, huge.
with Star Trek and Star Wars?
Oh yeah, I think a lot. Here's the theory on that. A lot of people think he only did the Star Trek movies so that he could do the Star Wars movies as like a stepping stone.
Well,
Yeah.
that is a lot of nerd cred right there.
It
He
is.
can
Well-
go to Comic-Con for the rest of his life, never work again.
It's
just
true.
live on that Comic-Con money,
That's
son.
right. That's right. He can
Get
just
those
go
Comic-Con bucks.
Comic-Con bucks. All he has to do is go talk in front of people at like a panel, and they'll
Yeah.
pay him,
Yeah.
hundreds or thousands of dollars.
And then he can just go make it rain.
That's right. He can go
Make
pay
it
him.
rain.
But here's the problem: people hate that second Star Trek movie.
Well,
They don't like it.
He didn't
So,
really care. He's moving on
it's-
to Star Wars.
Yeah, it's true. And if this one's good and it looks good,
Nah, it's not going to be that good.
you don't think it's gonna be good?
Nah, it's not going to be good.
Really?
Nah, it's not going to be good.
You are a pessimist. Let's
You-
remind the audience.
You have built up your expectations.
I have.
Okay. You have set yourself up to be disappointed.
Well, generally that is how that works, but I can deal. I can deal with.
When was the last time you were this excited about a movie? Or anything?
I think a movie, probably the first Avengers movie, and that delivered.
You
That
were
delivered. Yeah, I was well, no, okay, not as excited as I am about Star
okay.
Wars.
Okay.
I can't think of a time.
After the first Avengers movie, were you more excited for the second Avengers movie?
Yeah, but
Were you
signs-
disappointed
Yeah,
by the second Avengers
I was,
movie?
But I could tell in the trailers that it was gonna not be great. And I had heard so much about it that I knew they were trying to accomplish a lot. Like they had to set up a lot of stuff. And I was like, this is death for a movie.
I'm just saying,
Like,
you nerd folk have set
I know.
yourself up for major disappointment.
I don't know, man. It looks really good.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
saying,
it is
it looks
not
good.
It's not going to be
as good.
Empire Strikes Back.
No, it's not.
definitely not going to be A New Hope.
Empire Strikes Back is my favorite one.
Well, it's everyone's favorite.
It's the best one. That's because why?
It may get close to Return of the Jedi,
Yeah,
Maybe.
I love that movie.
but it's not probably going to. I'm just,
Whatever, you know what? Whatever happens,
I'm just here to quell your expectations, bring
Look.
them down.
It's gonna be better than all the prequels combined.
Well,
So I'm already there. I'm
okay.
good. I'm good
This
to go.
is the perfect example, though. How excited were people for the prequels?
Super, and they were awful.
Exactly. Although, to be fair, that involved crazy George Lucas.
It did.
At
You
some
know,
point, he lost his mind.
At some point, he did.
Yeah.
This man is responsible for not only creating Star Wars, but creating Indiana fucking Jones.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, he's going back and re-editing his movies where guns don't exist in them, and adding aliens into Indiana Jones sequels
In the background and stuff. Yeah, I don't understand it. But anyway, I mean, this is a well-worn topic.
Oh yeah,
But, yeah, I mean...
yeah. So J.J. Abrams is going to be the next George Lucas.
Well,
He's just going to lose it.
what might have happened is that he already did, and he came back a little bit from that. We'll see. I mean, I don't know if they're planning on making 3 more. I'm sure they are. Are they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
At least.
At least?
I've heard that there are plans for 2 trilogies.
Really? Oh, my God.
Disney.
Yeah, Disney.
Disney wants that money.
Disney will do it,
So
too.
it's going to be garbage at some point, and they'll just keep going because Disney wants that money.
Yeah, people are starting to say that the Marvel thing has hit some low points.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Anytime you're going to make that many films, you're going to have ones that are better than others, obviously.
Well, and it can't have hit too many low points because I think the last one was the first one that didn't open at number 1.
Right. And they knew
Ever.
that. They knew that. They knew that Ant-Man was not going to open at number 1. You know, they knew that going. They're using it as a path to set up other stuff in part, you know.
Right.
And that movie was actually really funny. Like I was very entertained by that
Rudd.
movie. Yeah.
He's a delight. He's an American treasure.
First time I've liked him in
What?
anything. Yeah.
What?
I'm not a fan. I don't know why.
Wet Hot American Summer?
You know, I didn't finish that movie. I started it and I didn't finish watching it. I know. I just hurt your comedy bone. I hurt your comedy bone. I can remedy this. I can watch it.
My bowels I just felt them all just shrivel and die.
I feel like this is a Gong moment.
Oh,
Here's the thing. I think I've seen him in a lot of movies that just weren't good. Like, there was one... Like, he's always in these movies with Jennifer Aniston, it seems like. And I just
Are you talking Wanderlust?
Was that one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't care for that movie.
That was a David Wayne movie.
I thought it was dumb.
Oh.
Sorry. That's how I feel.
Oh, then you're not going to like Wet Hot American Summer.
Okay.
Because it's also David Wayne.
Okay, well, there you go. And I didn't dig... I did not dig... There was this movie where he was like a college... what do you even call it? He was like an applicant guy, coach guy. No, he worked at a college. And I think 30 Rock, what's her name?
Tina Fey?
I think Tina Fey was like an acceptance.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it was okay.
I remember that one existed.
You remember that existed?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but
that's it? That's all you've seen?
I think I've seen other stuff too. Wanderlust was the one that really I didn't like.
Knocked Up?
I have not seen Knocked Up.
Ah.
Oh, and you know what? He is in... I guess I'm hit or miss on Paul Rudd because he's in Anchorman and I like him in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess
he in 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Yeah, he's in 40-Year-Old Virgin. I like that movie.
Basically every Judd Apatow movie
Yeah,
he was in at some point.
Good. That movie's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked him in Ant-Man.
So you like Paul Rudd. He's an American treasure.
He's on the upswing.
No.
I don't like everything he's done.
Clueless?
Was he in Clueless?
Oh, he was in Clueless.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
He goes that far back? Who was he in Clueless?
He was the college boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can't not like
American
Clueless.
Treasure.
Yeah. There are moments in Clueless where I just worried about what's her face's character.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
There's a part where she goes to the valley and things get bad.
You may have... I'm just spitballing here, but I think you may have taken that movie a little bit more seriously than it was intended.
I probably did. Yeah, I tend to over-empathize with characters sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What was her name? She's got a cookbook now, and we have it. It's called The Kind Diet.
Was that Silverstone?
No. Yes, Alicia Silverstone.
She's crazy.
Yeah, she is. But I had a huge crush on her in middle school. She was my
You know what she does now?
She eats only seasonal vegetables.
No, crazier than that.
Oh, what does she do now?
To feed her child.
Yeah.
She pre-chews the food for the kid.
Oh, I heard about that. That's not cool.
Yeah.
That's a little
like you have a
strange.
kid. You should be chewing all of his food for him.
Nope. Not gonna
and
do
then spit it into his mouth. Like a bird.
Not gonna happen.
Because people are like birds.
People are like birds.
We're all one.
We are all one.
The question I had is when she started chewing her child's food.
It's so much fun.
How many times did she accidentally swallow it?
That's what I would have done.
Like,
I forgot to feed him again.
Oh.
I forgot to feed him because I keep swallowing.
Yeah.
There's only really one situation in your life where you spit out something that's in your mouth and you're already chewing.
Well, there are two situations.
One is like I found a bone.
And the other is I'm feeding my child.
I don't know. The other is like, oh, I have to throw up suddenly.
When I spawn, I am chewing all of my kids' food. Even baby food.
You gonna chew milk for them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You gonna like pre-curdle the milk?
Yeah. I'm gonna gargle it, make sure it's all mixed up.
Okay, homogenized. That's a good thing. You do want to get some of your bacteria in there. It'll help their gut flora
and their baby food.
Yeah,
I'm gonna chew those mashed beets up.
Are you?
Make sure they're extra mashed.
I'm concerned at this point.
Then just spit it at the kid's face. Just
that's,
right in the kid's face.
You do that so that they know what competition is.
Right.
So that they know how to fight for their food.
Well, I have to assert myself as the alpha male.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I do that with all my animals too.
You spit the food in their face?
When Charlie came back home from having her surgery.
Charlie the dachshund?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she had food in front of her. I just ate it. I just ate it in front of her so she knew that I was in charge.
Oh.
She still hasn't eaten since then.
Really?
Yeah.
But she did recover really quickly, right?
Yeah.
She had like a triple quick recovery time because you did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she knew that it was survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
And she better recover or... That's the sound of death. When I die, I hope that's what it sounds like.
Every time I do this, an angel loses its wings.
I hope that at my funeral, everyone just makes that noise at one time.
1, 2,
like whenever someone is telling a story about, the last time I saw him, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then...
And that was the end.
Yeah.
And I never saw him again.
I want that over and over.
It. Oh, at the end, we'll just synchronize. We'll all do it at once.
Yeah.
And then...
I want a 12 salute.
And then we'll set your casket on fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Isn't that what you wanted?
Yeah. If my casket's not on fire, you didn't do it
Void.
right.
Yeah. Are we
in
pushing
fact, set
you...
the funeral home on fire.
Well, that's good.
Set the whole thing on
They
fire.
do have light bulbs that need changing.
Exactly.
Right.
Replace those.
So,
do them a favor.
Will you be disappointed if we don't push your casket out into a lake as it's on fire?
I mean, I will haunt the crap out of you.
Okay.
But, I mean, disappointed?
Not so much.
I mean, I'm not disappointed as much as just furious.
Okay. I mean, how many places could you haunt at once? That's my question. Are you going to be able to haunt me and everyone else?
You have no idea what
Really?
I'm capable of.
Oh, wow.
You have no idea.
Wow. That was the most intimidated I've ever felt by you. And you just spit food at me moments ago.
Exactly. That mashed banana is just dripping off of your face right now.
Yeah.
That's gross. Wipe that up.
It starts to feel better after a while. Like, I can't stand sticky, and sometimes I've been in scenarios like, I don't know, hiking or something, where I couldn't gong that snuff.
I thought I could do it sneaky.
You didn't do it sneaky enough. You should have gonged. You ganged when you should have gonged. Come on. This is a postscript gong. Thank you. Oh, nice sort of fade there. I love how
is that disruptive?
It's a little disruptive. I love how this app is just called Gong.
Yeah.
With exclamation points.
Do you know how
it's delightful?
How long it took me to find this in the App Store?
Less than 3 seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You search for Gong.
Boom.
It shows up.
Looking for Gong?
The Lord doth provide.
You'll always find it. I guess we're talking about movies so much in part. I've been on a movie binge. I watched a movie called John Dies at the End. Have you seen this movie?
I've heard of it.
This movie's insane.
But no, I have not.
It's insane. Enjoyable, but insane.
Did he die?
No, unless I got the time stream screwed up. Maybe I did. I hope I did. And I hope people tell me that I did. Because I really wanted him to die. Like, there's even a post.
That's the title.
I know. There's a post-credit scene, and you're like, okay, he's not dead yet. Like, the last thing we see is going to be him, like, getting shot with a shotgun or something. You know, like, it's coming, and then it doesn't happen.
That would be like if Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, they went, And let's do another crusade at the end of it. And you're like, that wasn't the last one.
And they're like, just one more.
Come on. What's happening here? What are we doing?
I just thought I heard distant music for a second.
I think that's just your insanity.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting in there.
I'm watering myself.
You gonna go water yourself? I'll vamp while you water yourself. Tell me if you happen to hear I know my dog is lying. Oh yeah, he lies like that all the time. Yeah, he just lies there with his belly up. I think it's the only way he can cool his dick off because he's so furry. You don't hear a child making sound over there, do you? While you're watering. Okay, good. That's good.
It just sounds like your refrigerator is urinating in a cup.
That's exactly what it is. My refrigerator is urinating in your cup. Do you think my fridge is a boy or a girl? I mean, it does pee standing up, so it's probably a dude.
It has a pretty solid stream, so I'm gonna go guy.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know what it's like when a woman pees. So
I've observed it many times, but I guess I really don't know either.
So now we know what your Google search looks like.
That's right. It's hard to come back from that.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Because I'm just thinking about it constantly now.
Oh boy.
I had a good joke lined up for the whole thing, and it went the way of the dinosaurs.
It must not have been that good then.
It must not have been. I'm going to try to forget about it now because it's gone. It's in the past. It's not coming back.
You can't focus on the past. You have to live in the present.
Yeah.
You also can't focus on the future.
Right. Because it's not here yet.
Because you gotta live in the present.
Yeah.
Like present and not past or
present
future.
moment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Present. Remember we did the meditation thing?
Yeah.
Present moment. Wonderful moment.
Uh-huh.
Present moment. There should be an alternate meditation that goes present moment, horrible moment. Because really, it's kind of both at the same time always. To me, and this is as realistic as I get. So I feel like it's always kind of wonderful and horrible simultaneously. Because somebody's
Explain yourself.
Well, somebody's having a good day, and someone else just starved to death.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But for me, it's fine. I didn't starve to death today.
Well, you could say present moment, fine moment.
Well, I mean,
another moment.
I'm a realist anyway, so I'm not going to say anything like mine would be present moment.
You're not going to qualify at all.
Yeah, it's a statement.
You know what that works?
Present moment.
Present moment. Yeah. Well, a lot of the times the goal in meditation is to not assign anything to the moment anyway.
Well, I have
just
not.
Let it be what it is.
I have assigned the moment the label moment.
Nada.
I have not even that. Just moment.
Just moment. Without qualifiers.
I like to label things as what they are.
Yeah.
My cat's name is Cat.
This is true. Your cat's name is Cat.
My child's name will be Child. That's just how I'm going to do things. My car, I named it the other day. Do you know what I call it? Car.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I am, speaking of my car, I've decided, and this is a very brave adventure for me.
Okay. I see the bravery mounting in your eyes.
I'm going to change the rotors on my car.
What? Don't do this.
Do you know how much it costs?
I don't know, but it's worth it. Don't do this.
No, it's not.
What? How much does it cost to pay someone to do
Several $100s.
How much do the rotors cost? I don't know.
$100.
All of them?
Yeah.
Or a piece?
No, I found all four for $100.
I don't know what a rotor is.
It's part of your brakes.
You might be able to do that.
Oh, I believe in myself.
Do you?
Well,
I mean,
well,
have you've never done this before?
Nah.
Okay.
So, I mean, worst case scenario, I ruin my brake system and then my vehicle careens out of control and I die.
That's a pretty good worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Best case scenario.
Yeah.
My car lasts like 6 months longer than it would normally.
And you still you have working, functioning brakes.
Yeah.
I've never once said to myself, I want to change my brakes. I just don't have that level of confidence in my mechanical ability.
Have you done anything on your car?
I've changed the oil before.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Like headlights? You change headlights?
Yeah, maybe. I've changed the tail light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done little stuff like that.
It's not.
I've
it's not
washed
too bad.
it before.
Yeah, you've washed it.
I've washed it, yeah.
Yeah, see, that one I go with the automated car wash.
Yeah, I don't like washing my car. It's the worst.
I've had this conversation with my wife several times. She likes washing her car.
My wife does too. They need to get together and wash all of our cars.
And my theory is, instead of spending 45 minutes washing the car,
right,
I can pay like $5 and just be done with it.
it's true.
Just be done.
It's a solid point. I
And
mean,
it's not that much more expensive than buying the soap.
no. Once you get the
Like,
soap,
you're not really saving money.
and you get the little glove thing with the fingers on it. You know what I'm talking about?
we don't do that.
What do you do?
Oh, we
a
just
rag?
use a rag.
Yeah, I mean, that works, but I mean, where I come from, civilized people, they use the glove thing.
I feel like that's an infomercial
Glove thing?
device. Yeah.
It's the glove thing.
Yeah. Are you trying to clean your car with a rag? Well, you know that's not going to work.
And
Get
you're
the
an
glove
idiot.
thing.
Get the glove thing. Order now,
Yeah.
and you'll get 2. And you'll also get the toe thing.
Why
What's
is
it
it-
do? Nothing. But you get it.
Why is every infomercial always trying to sell you 2?
I think
Every single time
Yeah.
it's, well, if you call now,
you'll get it.
we'll give you another one.
I think the thing is, first of all, 2 hands, 2 glove things. But second of all, I think the infomercial is the last ditch effort of a lot of these companies.
Uh-huh.
And so they're like, yeah, we'll give you 2 because we have 4,000 of these and we can't get rid of them.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
It's always like you order, we'll say a crock pot.
Yeah.
They give you another crock pot.
You
No
don't-
one needs 2.
No, that's very true. I have real, okay. I watched a staggering amount of infomercials as a kid.
Okay.
Because that was the only thing that would come in on the TV.
Right.
A lot of them were on PAX.
Right.
Our favorite channel. To talk about. The paint stick. Do you remember the paint stick?
No.
All right. Let me pitch the paint stick for you. The paint stick
Yes.
is a roller
Right.
on a staff.
Okay.
You have a special lid you stick on your paint can
Okay.
that has a nozzle. The nozzle inserts into a vagina on the paint stick. And then you pull the handle out and it sucks paint up into the handle.
Oh, this sounds like a terrible idea.
Right? And then as you press on the handle, it puts more paint in the roller so you don't have to refill as often. Now, tell me how that's an improvement on a bucket and a pan to dip the roller in. Like, how is that any better?
Do you have to continually push on the end of it?
Not continually, but as you need more paint,
Okay.
yeah, you have to push it in more. I feel like you're asking to get paint all over your hands. That's what I feel like is. Because I feel like the seals wouldn't be very good on such a thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you
I
just
just-
get leak.
I don't know that I've ever in my life thought, well, I'm really tired of dipping this roller in that paint.
Right.
That's a lot of work. Oh, it's all the way down there on the floor.
If only I could just keep going continuously for 5 minutes versus 4.
That seems like an idea that would be on Shark Tank
Right.
that they would all reject. And there wouldn't be a lot of drama about it. They would just go, well, there doesn't seem like a market. I'm out.
Yeah. And if Shark Tank had existed at the time, I think we probably wouldn't have seen a product like that.
Have you, do you ever watch Shark Tank?
No.
Do you know who's on it this year?
No.
Ashton Kutcher.
What?
Yeah.
What's up with Ashton?
He's apparently now a Shark Tank entrepreneur.
He was riding high for a while. I feel like this is a step backward for him.
Well, maybe. I don't know. You have to be pretty successful to be on there.
I guess so.
I mean, Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
he's
know
on
that.
there.
I didn't know that.
Owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, there you go. Who are the Dallas Mavericks?
Take a guess.
Are they a hockey team?
Take another guess.
Arena football?
Basketball.
Oh, really? Okay, see, I don't
You
know.
went to arena football?
I thought it was some kind of... I thought you were...
That's a dual purpose. I'm blowing my nose, and you were wildly incorrect, Gong.
I thought you were leading me towards something... I thought you were misleading me purposefully.
No.
I thought you were doing like an understatement.
NBA team.
Okay.
Dallas Mavericks.
Are they terrible?
No.
Are they pretty good?
They've won multiple championships.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have they ever won the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
Not invited to participate.
Then I don't care.
Don't have enough members. They also have not won the World Series.
Really?
However,
Yeah.
you know who's still in the running to get to the World Series?
The Royals?
Absolutely.
Really? Well,
Absolutely.
good. I feel good for you. Do you wake up a little happier every day knowing that?
I'll feel a little bit better if they win tomorrow or Saturday,
Okay.
and then actually go to the World Series.
Yeah.
But yeah,
When's the most recent they were in the World Series?
last year.
Oh, okay. So they're doing
Because
they're doing
but
all
before
right.
that was 1985.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big dress
They haven't
code.
won since 1985.
Are the Cubs still in?
No.
At the moment, they're already out.
Yeah, they're out.
Okay.
So your Back to the Future dreams
It's not
are
gonna
over.
happen. Well,
Yeah.
if it had, I kind of think like Cthulhu would have come out of the center of the earth and we
Yeah.
would have all died in flames.
Probably.
So, but hey, they got it farther than they've gotten in a long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my coworkers is a big Cubs person, and she said like 1908 was the last World Series they won.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's been a while.
I mean, century plus.
Yeah. Yeah. Century plus.
Just a century plus.
100 some
no
odd
big deal.
years. Yeah.
Like there are things that are older than that.
I guess so. Like the wizard guy in Big Trouble in Little China.
Exactly.
One of the best parts about that movie, though, John Carpenter does all of his soundtracks.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
plays synthesizer and stuff a lot.
Right.
He also was in bands, and he wrote a song for the end of the movie, Big Trouble in Little China, and it goes, Big Trouble in Little China. And the background is like...
Okay.
It's...
What is the vocal again?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's...
And the beat?
But it's not electronic. It's like real drums.
Okay, now this is where your editing comes in.
Oh.
Now you need to edit your singing over the beat.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little...
See, I told
that's a
you
little
I
thing.
had something. You accused me of lying.
I still
I had
accuse
this
you.
planned the whole time.
Please. How did you know?
I guided
Please.
you. I played you. You're my little puppet.
Maybe you did.
Dance puppet. So, this would be where people can hear you doing the Big Trouble in Little China theme song by yourself in 3, 2, 1.
Big Trouble in Little China. And we just hear traffic noise right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll put it in there.
Yeah.
I'll put it in.
Well,
Yeah.
you better.
I will. You have my word, sir.
I'm going to. This will be the first time I ever listen to an episode of this podcast.
That's shocking that you
Just to
have not
find out.
listened
Well,
back
I mean,
to
it's
episodes.
garbage. It's garbage.
This show?
Yeah.
This show is not
Oh,
garbage.
it's terrible.
Really?
No, I mean, there's so many things I can listen to.
Oh,
They're better.
Wow.
Like just weather forecasts, or I have an app that I don't know if you've heard. It just like I prefer to just listen to that on loop over and over.
It's so encouraging that you hate this so
Yeah,
much.
I mean, it's
why
so
are we
bad.
Why are you doing this? If we,
I mean,
is this
what
like?
else do I have to do?
Do you have a problem you would be indulging in otherwise?
No, I mean, it's good for me to get out of the house.
I guess so.
And talk at equipment.
Yeah. You also talk at me. I'm here. We're in the same space.
Well,
Are you saying I'm not great company? I really want us to get a sponsor, but I want us to get a dumb sponsor.
like
Like, I don't know.
You know, if you list them here as a dumb sponsor,
They're not going to ever sponsor us.
you have effectively ruled them out.
Let's just do one that we'll never have.
Okay.
Like, I don't think this is a dumb sponsor. I think it's a good sponsor. But let's say Audible. Like, we're never going to have Audible.
You hate Audible.
No, I like Audible.
You think they're dumb.
No, I don't. I'm just using them
You
as
think
an
Audible
example.
is dumb.
No, I don't. I like Audible. Audible.com.
I'm tweeting.
But like
at
every...
Audible to
Oh,
let
don't
them
do
know.
that. Okay, go ahead.
No,
do it.
I'm not going to do it.
I'll do it. I'm going to do it. I'll do it right now. I think it's safe to say that the energy level is a little down
What?
this evening.
Well, I mean, I'm sick.
Yeah, your illness.
I'm the illest.
Yeah, you are the illest.
I'm the illest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what's bringing it. It's sickness. It's disease
Right.
that's bringing us down.
I don't know what your excuse is,
I don't really have one.
but my excuse is that.
There's a chance that I might have something really, really wrong with my brain.
Well, I think we've all known that for a while.
Well, yeah, I know. Everyone has their suspicions, but when something is close to confirmation,
Right.
as it is now, you feel a little differently, I have to say.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't have a name,
Right.
but basically, if I don't take better care of myself, my brain's gonna turn into toothpaste,
It happens.
and it's gonna leak out my ears.
On the bright side,
Yeah,
your wife would save so much money on toothpaste.
that's true. Because I would just be a little toothpaste factory.
She could just rake in that toothpaste money.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? This is scarcity, because how many people can say they have human disease toothpaste?
I mean, maybe a
I'm the
dozen?
only source in the world.
Maybe a dozen.
Yeah.
I
I'm the first case, Nathan. I'm the first case.
yeah. Well,
There's no treatment.
that's alarming.
Yeah, I know. And I'm told that it's going to, there's be this dramatic moment where it just happens and I won't know when it's coming.
Right.
We could even be recording when it happens sometime.
Right.
Yeah. This reminds me of another horror film that the documentary referenced, just to go way back. And I saw this film. They were showing it like they do on TBS on a loop. And it was called The Stuff. Have you ever seen The Stuff?
I mean, I've seen some stuff.
It's The Stuff.
Well,
The Stuff. Have you seen The Stuff?
I've seen a few stuffs.
The Stuffs.
No.
Okay, so The Stuff is in the movie. It's the stuff. I can't stop saying stuff. It's kind of
Right.
like Cool Whip. It's like an ice
Okay.
cream.
I'm familiar with
It's
Cool
like a
Whip.
white. It almost
Yes.
looks like a mixture between Cool Whip and vanilla ice
I've
cream.
had Cool Whip before.
There you go.
Okay.
So you have a reference point.
Yeah.
So the stuff, what happens with the stuff is you eat the stuff, and eventually the stuff like sort of explodes and it starts coming out of everywhere. And throughout the movie, you just see these commercials where people are dancing and they're like, you can never get enough of the stuff. Do-do-do. So it's this whole social commentary thing about how, we have so much food, but we eat all this terrible stuff and blah, 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 right? We're
Right.
like so, in abundance, right? So that's the commentary. But really, the movie is just about people exploding with this white shit inside them. And it like anthropomorphizes too, and it'll like attack you and stuff.
Right.
The stuff will attack you.
When did this
and
movie
stuff.
come out?
It's in the 80s.
Do you think Cool Whip, like the makers of Cool
We're
Whip,
pissed.
were just so unhappy about
I think
the
they
whole
must
thing?
have been. They must have been angry about this.
They were
There's
just
no way
watching it
couldn't have
going,
been. Come
You
on.
know that's supposed to be us.
Right, come on, guys.
They could have at least let us sponsor the movie.
Cool Whip is kind of
Get
like...
some product placement.
Right, come on, man. Cool Whip is like that, though. Like, Cool Whip is nothing.
Yeah.
It's a weird... Have you ever just eaten it by itself?
Yeah.
It's not... There's, like, nothing to it.
I mean, it's sugar.
It is sugar, but it's like
sweet.
liquidy
Yeah.
sugar, but
Yeah.
it's not really... It doesn't have anything real in it besides sugar.
No.
You know what I mean?
And even the sugar, I doubt, is all that real.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
Isn't America awesome?
America.
Yeah.
America is awesome, but not because of Cool Whip.
No, that's pretty much it.
Just Cool Whip and
Let me give you a
horror
list
movies.
of reasons why America is awesome.
All right.
Number 1, Cool Whip.
Wow. Bold
Yeah,
statement.
Yeah. Number 2, more Cool Whip, man. That's it.
You know what's weird?
That's the entire list.
It freezes, but it doesn't freeze. It
I know.
melts, but it doesn't melt. Mm-hmm. It's Cool Whip.
You know, if you're living in communist China,
Right.
ain't got no Cool Whip.
That's probably true.
You ain't got no Cool
I
Whip
feel
in
like
China.
it's definitely decreased in popularity in recent years. Do you feel like that? Like, as people start to like read labels, they're like, what is this? You know?
To be fair, I don't really run into a lot of situations where Cool Whip is called for.
No, I don't either. There's pies, I guess, and things.
Pumpkin pie at
Pumpkin
Thanksgiving.
pie. Yeah. Cool Whip. You put Cool Whip on that.
That's about it.
I've literally bought a box of it before just to eat on its own.
Cool Whip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an unpleasant
You
experience.
know why?
It hurt.
America.
America, because I can.
Yeah.
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 Because right here, on this soil, where these colors don't run, even if they're on fire, you could have a whole thing.
I'm going
of
to take
Cool
that
Whip.
lighter away from you.
Don't take it from me. I'm having so much fun.
I'm going to take it
Leave
away
it
from you.
alone. I'm putting it away. I'm putting it over there. Okay? I'm putting it over there.
You're just... It concerns me that your new favorite toy is a lighter.
Yeah.
It concerns me as much as it would concern me if a small child decided they wanted to play with a lighter all the time.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're going to light something or someone on fire on accident
Yeah.
playing with your new toy.
Yeah.
Your car?
Yeah. I had an experience, not recently, but I did have an experience with fire in my car. I was playing with a lighter, not this lighter, but a different lighter.
You're
And,
not making me feel better about
I know.
this
My
lighter.
friend had made this. My friend makes these like jewelry and little like tassel-y things with the pictures of your dog in them. And she'll do like earrings and stuff, and they have your picture of your dog. And anyway, she made me a little tassel-y thing to hang from my rearview mirror that has Amber on one side, Jacob on the other side, right? And it has like a frayed tassel-y thing at the end. So one day in the car, I'm just playing with fire. I'm striking the lighter. I'm like about to turn on West End, and yeah, I lit that thing on fire, and it burned up like half of it. It was scary for a moment there. There was fire in my car.
2 questions.
Yeah.
What are these tassels made out of?
I mean, this was made out of like some kind of elastic with like cloth around it.
And don't you have a radio or something in your car to entertain you? Why are you playing with a lighter?
Yeah, my hands though, Nathan. My hands. What do I do with my hands?
They're supposed to be.
I was
now
at a
follow me
stoplight.
here.
I was at a stoplight.
Steering. They're supposed to be on the steering
I was
wheel.
at a stoplight. Come
10
on.
and 2 or 9 and 3. Really, whatever you want to do.
I kind of like to do 12 and 6.
I like 12 and 5.
12 and 5 is good.
Yeah, 12 and 5.
1 and 5 maybe.
Actually, sometimes I like to just go 1.
Yeah, I like
Just
1.
And
I'd
you may be
say
like, what's the other hand doing that you're just on 1?
playing with a lighter.
Lighting things on fire in my
Right,
car
with
while I
my hand.
drive.
Right, exactly. I think I'm a 1 and 7 guy. Yeah, I'm like this.
That seems wildly impractical.
Great in a visual medium here.
Yeah, that seems wildly impractical.
I don't know why, but my dad always told me this thing about like not putting your thumbs inside the wheel. Because I guess he said he learned how to drive on a tractor.
Okay.
And I guess if you hit a bump the right way, a tractor would like whip around. And if your thumbs were on the inside, like the little bar that holds the wheel together would like slap your thumb or something. I remember the strangest lessons from my folks. And so...
Did he know that you weren't learning to drive a tractor?
Yeah, but I mean...
Did you trick him into teaching you to drive by saying, I want to learn how to drive a tractor, Pa? I assume that since you're in the South, you call your father Pa.
Yeah, I mean,
Pa.
that's... If you don't, you know... Like,
Pappy?
and Mammy.
Yeah.
And Ma. Pa and
Ma,
Ma.
Pa, Pappy,
Pa.
Mammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just named all my family.
That's actually their Christian name right there.
Right.
They have no first name.
There are countries in the world where that's kind of the case. Like, I know a guy who's from Bali, and his name, he has a name, but I think his name means like oldest brother.
Well, you know,
Like, that's his name.
you know why that is, right?
No, I don't know what that
They don't
is.
live in the greatest country in the world, America.
Well, I wonder how much Cool Whip they get in Bali. Probably not a lot.
I bet there's no Cool Whip in Bali.
Probably zero Cool Whip in Bali.
I bet if you gave a Balinese person,
Yeah.
not sure that's what they're called.
Neither am I.
If you gave them Cool Whip, their heads would actually explode,
Yeah.
like the movie.
Because Cool Whip, if you're not American, it sneaks in through your ears when you're asleep at night.
It's too much for most people to handle.
Well, yeah, it gets in there. What it does when you eat it,
Yeah,
it coats the brain.
but
You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was raised on corn syrup and, just dyes of all sorts.
Right, in beef.
Yeah. Like, it can't phase me.
No, your body is so adapted
Oh, yeah.
to that sort of diet. Yeah.
Yeah. In
It's
fact,
like,
if I don't eat corn syrup one day,
right.
my body just starts to shut down.
It's like it's like America decided to prepare a generation of children for the space program.
Right.
Like, because nothing you eat in space is actually food.
Right.
And we haven't eaten anything that's actually food until we got to be like adults.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I ate food.
So at any point, it's like we were going to leap off the planet. Like when people thought that Mars was still like a viable place to go live,
Whoa.
It's not.
Whoa.
It's not. There's better choices.
You don't know, man.
I do.
There's water there.
I heard about this. I heard that it might just be very, very salty, and so it's hard to detect.
Okay.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also might be water.
It might be.
Where else do we have water? Huh?
Earth.
Huh?
We have water on Earth.
Yeah, but, this place is doomed.
It might be.
It
It might be
it's
doomed.
done for.
I hope it's not doomed.
Nah, it's done for.
Eventually.
My goal is to just space out my destruction of the planet Earth, so that it doesn't just completely fall apart until after I die.
Right.
Like I want it to last I'll be optimistic here, 80 more years.
That sounds good.
That's all I ask for.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then,
Then it's someone else's problem. I don't care.
exactly.
I'm dead.
You're gone.
My casket has been burnt. People have clicked at me. Gone.
Right. I did hear this, in conjunction to the potential salty water on Mars. I did hear another interesting bit. You've heard about the Goldilocks zone planets, right? Like you've heard about
that. No.
Okay, so the Kepler telescope is looking for planets that would be in the quote-unquote Goldilocks zone, which means not too hot, not too cold, right? Just like Earth, not too hot, not too cold.
Right.
And they've found like over 1,000, I think, so far, planets that are similar-ish to Earth. Okay? Orbiting stars like about the same distance as we are from the sun and, about the same size as Earth. Thousands at this point. That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing to think that, there's probably, if not advanced life, there's probably primitive life out there. You know what I mean? Another thing I heard, which is a little shocking, statistically, we're in more danger of dying from an asteroid hitting the Earth than we are from a plane crash. Now, that doesn't help me with my fear, because what if I'm on a plane when an asteroid comes? Just saying.
Statistically,
we're more likely to die from an asteroid.
I find this
than
hard
a plane.
to believe.
Isn't that insane?
And here is why.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I've heard of many people dying on planes.
Me too.
I have heard of 0 people dying from asteroids.
Here's the thing, though, because this is the way the statistics work. Only, 100 people maybe at a time can die in a plane crash.
Okay.
But you can wipe out the entire planet with one asteroid.
But that doesn't mean you're more likely.
It does when you do the math, I guess. I don't know how statistics work. Who am I?
I feel like that's very flawed.
Maybe it is.
Because the way you have stated it, it implies more deaths per capita from plane crash or from asteroids than plane crashes.
Right.
There are no deaths
Right.
from asteroids.
Right.
There are 0.
Right.
From plane crashes, there are several.
Right.
There are a handful.
But I guess when you break, I don't know. This is how I heard it. So this is the best I can do.
Who was this?
This was an astrophysicist. Or no, he was he's an astrophysicist.
He's an idiot. Find out who it was. Tell him.
I have heard on several occasions that we should be a lot more concerned about asteroids than we are.
Why?
Because there's so many of them.
Okay, but none have hit us yet.
No, but they have, but just not recently.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's just too many of them out there.
Okay, so why would we be concerned about it?
Because we need to, we need to move them before they strike the Earth.
No, I mean, it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, but we could prevent it, though, potentially. I mean, we can...
So why should we mess with nature?
Because we don't... I mean, we
just because it's inconvenient?
We mess with nature all the time.
But why should we?
What are you even saying? Because we don't want to die.
So?
I don't really see your point anymore.
My point is, what gives us the right to mess with nature?
Well, I think we took that right a long time ago. Like we a long time ago we're like, you know what? We're gonna make this planet just like we want it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's why we're in dire straits.
Yeah, but we're not just in dire straits. I mean, we are a lot. I mean, we haven't just screwed things up,
I feel like the people who are saying this are the same people, though. They're saying things like, Miami's going to be underwater by 2020.
No, it's not the same people at all. Like, the NASA community are the people saying, like, hey, the public should be a lot more conscious about asteroids than they are.
Being conscious of it, what does that do?
Well,
what good would that do?
Well, it encourages the public to talk to
should we start running
political
asteroid
leaders
5Ks?
About, yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think we have far bigger issues than asteroids. Because if an asteroid comes, you know what?
Here's the thing,
we're going to die.
Here's the thing. All you need is one giant fucking laser and we're in business. It's all we need and we're good.
One laser to break it up into
giant
a
laser.
Whole bunch of different things that will fall onto the Earth instead of one giant asteroid.
They'll burn up in the atmosphere, a lot of them. Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Some of them.
Yeah. Speaking of asteroids, they have found bacteria on asteroids.
Okay.
And not bacteria, but proteins, which is, building blocks of life. So it's possible that life got started on Earth when a fucking asteroid hit it that had proteins on it.
Now, I'm stuck
cool.
on this giant laser idea.
I'm not surprised.
I'm going to say it's impractical.
Uh-huh.
And here's why.
I mean, this is my theory, not NASA's theory. They just want to nudge them.
You know what that sounds like?
Giant laser.
It sounds like Ronald Reagan's Star Wars idea.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
You're being very Reagan-esque.
I don't want to be that.
You're being Reagan-esque.
I don't want to be that.
Well, I mean, he was our greatest president, so.
Undisputedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't think of a better one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in modern times.
No, I mean ever. In the history of the world, the best president.
Here's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Teddy Roosevelt against any other president, like in a fist fight. I think Teddy Roosevelt would pretty much always win.
I doubt that's true.
You don't think that's true?
No.
He's a badass. He's great.
I would bet there were much tougher presidents.
Who could beat up Teddy? Obviously, he's going to beat FDR.
Well,
he's not going to not beat FDR.
I don't think he would fight FDR.
Yeah, he would.
That's family.
Yeah, but
Why are you fighting family?
Teddy Roosevelt would fight anybody. He's one of these guys that's got to constantly prove his manhood.
You're fighting crippled family in this scenario.
Yeah.
He's a terrible person.
Well,
no wonder no one says he's the best president.
He's his own man. Clearly, he could beat Lincoln.
Why?
Lincoln's just skinny,
But he's tall. He's got that reach.
He does have that reach, but I don't think Lincoln would be all that tough.
It's like you don't want to put money on a short boxer because He doesn't have the reach.
The arms, yeah. The thing about Lincoln though is he always looked a little sick to me. You know,
I don't.
he looks like he has
know.
a cough.
Maybe he did.
Yeah, it's not. You don't want that.
Everyone before 1950 had a cough, right?
Like a constant cough.
Yeah.
Oh, really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What about Washington? Where do you think Washington falls in this?
Washington would be one of his hardest fights, but I still think he could beat him. He would be one of his hardest fights because Washington is like one of besides him and like Eisenhower, Grant. Those are like most of the military presidents, I think.
Why can only a military president fight?
Well, I mean,
in your scenario here,
training, clearly training. You know,
right?
Washington had military training. Roosevelt had military training.
Yeah, but the later you get in the timeline, the less like fighting training you need.
I guess that's true.
So
it's more shooting training.
Unless they're starting a war, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. I think
Washington probably would beat him in hand-to-hand combat.
You think so?
Because he had to deal with that in war.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, but Washington was a general.
They had the bayonets.
Yeah, they had the bayonets, but Roosevelt, TR was on the front lines a lot more than Washington. Washington was looking at a map going, redcoats over here. Just saying.
I don't think they had enough people to say that Washington didn't fight.
You don't think so?
I bet Washington fought.
You think
they were vastly outnumbered?
I guess they were, yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, they were.
If you're vastly outnumbered and you're the general, you're going, well, I'm going to go way back there now.
We really have the French to thank for this country. They sort of turned the Revolutionary War around, didn't they? The French Navy.
Yeah. You know what else we have to thank for this country?
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. Yeah. That's what shaped this fine nation.
Shaped it into this like gelatinous, strange thing. If
I have to choose between either Ben Carson and Trump or Hillary Clinton,
in this situation where you have a gun to your head,
I'm going to write in Cool Whip. That's who I'm voting for. Make America great again. Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. It's the red, white, and blue whip. Cool Whip. America.
I speak for everyone listening when I say we did not like that.
Oh, you guys. You can reach us. The podcast, as you probably know, is available in iTunes and Stitcher and Podbean. It's sushijackknife.podbean.com.
Any other place you get podcasts.
Any place where you can put a feed in, you'll get it.
By the way, I find it strange that every episode we tell people where to find the podcast.
But they are listening to it already. I mean, maybe Stitcher's more convenient than iTunes and they would rather be listening to it in Stitcher. I don't know.
Maybe they're sitting there and then just halfway through they're like, oh crap. How did I find this?
Right. Like they forgot.
I'm never going to be able to do it again.
Yeah. If you would like to locate us on the Tweetiverse, it's at Sushi Jackknife is the Twitter handle. Nathan is at where are you at?
I'm right here.
You're at Badlands Badly, and I'm at Justin L with an L for Lesbian Croft.
When I introduce you to people, I always do introduce you as Justin Lesbian Croft.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it gets it all right out there on that way we can start the conversation.
Exactly.
Usually we come out about once a week, so hopefully we'll be back on that now. We've had a little break, and now I feel motivated. Do you feel motivated?
I feel snotty.
Yeah, I know you feel snotty, and I'm sorry about your snottiness.
Can you hear my cough drop?
Let's all say yeah, I do hear it really well. Let's all say a prayer for Nathan. Let's have a moment of silence for Nathan.
To your respective deity.
Yeah, whatever it may be. Cool Whip, it's the red, white, and blue whip. Cool Whip, it's
now let's
America.
have a moment of silence as you pray to your deity for Justin's forgiveness for that. And Sushi Jackknife.